Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is me, Psychic Medium Natasha, and in today's video I wanted to talk about as well as demonstrate how to perform an egg cleanse with return back to sender. And all that simply means is you are learning how to remove negative energies and influences from your energy while taking that energy and returning it back to its original source. So if you are interested in learning how you can do this for yourself, please keep watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys, so that you can show me your support. And don't forget to subscribe so that you guys will never miss out on my free spiritual informative content, because I'm always uploading on here now. So that being said, we're just going to move right on into this video. If you happen to have any questions about how to do this or anything about purifying your energy or return back to sender, please leave it in the comments down below. Anything that I am talking about in this video, down to the materials that I'm using, and how to do this, it will be in the description box. So if you are a person that not only needs to see this visually, but you also need notes, the notes on this information that I am talking and demonstrating will be in the description box. So always check that out, you guys, okay? But now let's move into the information and the demonstration. So, like I said, an egg cleanse is a very, very specific technique to purify your energy. Now, I'm going to be combining an egg cleanse with a return back to sender because, to be honest with you, I do this about, if not weekly, bi-weekly. So I do this quite often, and I decided to dedicate a video for this. But if you want to do an egg cleanse, it's just removing the influences off of you. But I've had enough. I'm returning this shit back to who the fuck sent this to me. So that's what I'm gonna do. And if you're interested in doing that, then, you know, keep watching. But I think this is a great way to remove, banish, as well as to send it back. You know, I don't believe necessarily in hexing or harming someone, but I will absolutely take care of myself and defend myself. And this is something that I do for that. So let's talk about how do we start. So for me personally, I like to do my egg cleanses a very specific way. This is not the only way you can do it. An egg cleanse I've seen in other cultures and other spiritual practices, but I'm just sharing how I personally do this. So I'm not saying this is the only way you could do your egg cleanse, but I am disclosing that there are other methods out there. I'm just simply showing you what works for me, and I'm just sharing with y'all. Okay, so when I do an egg cleanse, I like to prepare a candle. Now, normally you would use a white candle for this, but because I'm doing a return back to sender, I'm going to be using a black candle, because when you are returning back to sender, you're essentially banishing it away from you. So I'm using a black candle, and the first thing you have to do is to prepare your candle. So to prepare your candle, you would engrave, anoint, dress, and light the candle. So I'm going to be doing that. Now, obviously, I can't necessarily engrave except for the top. And what I like to use, this is the tool I like to use. This is actually a very, very long nail, but I specifically use this in my practice for engraving for my candles. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to write, well, first you want to cleanse the candle. So I'm just going to use some Florida water because that's very fast and what I have on hand. If you don't have any Florida water, you can buy some at the store. If you don't have any metaphysical shops or spiritual shops close to you, I will link my Amazon storefront down below so that you can purchase that. I will disclose that it is an affiliate link, so I will earn some commission. It does help me out, but it does not cost anything extra to you. I just have my Amazon storefront for those that are looking to buy spiritual things, but they may not have access to buying them, whether that's because you're in the closet or you genuinely just don't have any stores next to you. I'm going to link my Amazon storefront down below. though. So the first thing you're gonna do is cleanse your candle. I use Florida water. There's different ways to do that, but that's what I have on hand. So next, after my candle is cleansed, I'm going to engrave it with my intention. So I'm going to carve on the top here, return back to sender, because that's what this is for. So give me a second. All right, so getting all the little shavings out of there. All right, so well, you can't really see that, but I engraved my intention. Next thing I'm going to want to do is to dress the candle with herbs. And this would be herbs that align with your intention, which is return back to sender. So because this is a tall candle, I'm actually going to poke some holes down into it so that all the herbs are not sitting on the top. So that it will burn cleanly. So this is actually partly why I have this. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take 3 holes. I'm just going to stab it down, and this is what I'm doing. I'm stabbing it down in there so that the oil and the herbs can penetrate the candle. Okay, and then I pull it out. And I'm going to do that 2 more times. I like to do 3. 3 is like my magic number. So I'm just doing that again. And you can use whatever tools you have on hand, but I've been using this. I've actually found this nail in nature, believe it or not. And it was just so useful. I was like, yo, I can use this for me. And I do. So, all right. So there's 3 holes there around the wick. I'm going to put herbs and oils there that align with my intention. So I actually make my own banishing oil. So I'm going to use that to anoint my candle. If you don't know how to make your own intention oils or conjure oils, you can of course buy your own, or you can make your own, or you can use essential oils. I'm going to list down below some alternatives for banishing oil if you don't of course have access or you don't know how to make your own, for those of you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm putting the oil in the holes that I had created so that it can go down into the candle. Use your own discernment on how much you want to use. I just, I'd like to put a decent amount. So I put some in the holes, and then I put some around the wick as well, because I want to anoint my candle. Next, after it's anointed, I'm going to put some herbs on here. So personally, I'm going to use a combination of kitchen herbs and some herbs that spiritual herbs from the metaphysical shop, the witchy shop I have a local, as well as some kitchen herbs. So I'm going to use yarrow. Yarrow's very, very great. This is what it looks like. Yarrow's really great for banishing and protection. So I'm just going to put that around here. And like I said, when you're using candles like this, you don't want to shove so much herbs on the top, because then it's not going to burn very cleanly. It's not going to burn right. So just keep that in mind. If you're using these 7-day candles, you want to be mindful of that. Okay, next I'm going to add rosemary. Rosemary is really great for protection, cleansing, and banishing. It's like a triple threat in my eyes. So I'm going to add a pinch of that. Add that around there and try to shove it into there. So a way I like to shove the herbs down is also by using my tool, and I'll just push them down in there. That's like my little tip, but use what you have on hand. This is just what I do. So far it looks like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. Everybody has access to black pepper. It's actually very, very excellent for banishing. So I'm just going to take a little tiny bit, because you really don't need a lot. And when you're putting the herbs into your candle, you want to be putting your intention into them as well. So whether you're speaking this in your mind or out loud, that's really up to you. I've seen a lot of debate about this in the witchcraft community. So if you were to say it out loud, it would be something like black pepper. Bestow upon my candle, banishing, remove all negative influences from me, so as it is. Like, you're just basically speaking your intention. You're basically telling the herb what you want it to do. And whether you do that silently in your mind or out loud, that's up to you. But just as an example, that's kind of how it would go. So I'm only going to use 3 herbs because I don't want to bombard this, but this is good. So this is ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to light this candle. So let me get my lighter, and I'm going to put my intention into the candle before I light it. Let me put that down real quick. So, all negativity sent to me, return to sender 3 times 3. That's an easy one that you guys can probably remember, and I will put that down below in the description box as well. And you want to visualize all the negative energy being sent back to its original source, and then you light the candle. And you're going to let this candle burn down until it's completely gone, like completely burned down. So that started. Now we're going to prepare our egg for the egg cleanse. Okay, so I already have the egg. Literally just took it out the fridge. There's nothing special, it's just a raw egg. But the first thing you want to do is actually cleanse the egg. Now you can do this with incense, sound, selenite, Florida water, whatever. Just because I have it on hand, I'm just going to use the incense because it's just the first thing I picked up. That's just the honest truth. So this is dragon's blood incense. It's also very great for banishing and protection in general. So that's what I'm going to be using. And you're just going to cleanse the egg. Now, because I'm sensitive to energy, I can intuitively feel and also see the energy coming off of this. So I can feel when the egg is ready, like it feels energetically lighter, but just trust your own discernment. When you feel the need to stop, then it's kind of like your body telling you, like your body cue telling you like, okay, it's ready. So I'm just going to cleanse the egg. Okay. So that feels good to me. So next, I'm going to speak my intention into the egg. So you're literally going to be telling the egg what you want it to do for you. So for an example, egg, absorb all of the negative energies that no longer belongs to me. All energy that is not of mine is absorbed onto you. I ask of you to remove all energy, all negativity, all energy that does not belong to me to be absorbed into you. Remove these energies from my mind, body, and spirit, so as it is. Just as an example, you can use whatever wording works best for you, but that's basically what my intention is. So, next thing you do after speaking your intention into the egg, you're going to want to rub this egg all over you from head to toe. So some people, I like to use circular motions when I do this. When you go counterclockwise, that's a means of banishing away from you, but you just want to go head to toe and you want to sweep down, like away from you. So I'm going to just literally rub this all over me, my head, rubbing it on my hair. Your hair can absolutely absorb a lot of energy onto you. It's actually the back side of you that absorbs. Oh, like your back side of you is the receiving side of you. So a lot of people tend to send a lot of evil eye to the back of you, the back of the head, the back of the neck, just your actual back, literally. So just keep in mind while you're doing this. So, oh yeah, my face. Got some makeup on. It's kind of probably not smart, but it's okay. Don't forget your ears. Literally get everywhere. You want this to absorb all this nasty crap from you. So make sure you're sweeping down when you're going down your body. Wow. I literally can feel this coming off me, you guys. When you do this, feel free to like email me and hit me up or whatever, because I loved hearing y'all's stories and experiences from actually doing this stuff. Okay? But don't rush this, okay? This could take you 5 minutes, whatever. Don't rush this, because you'd be surprised how much comes out, like really. So literally rubbing this all over me. I'm not skipping an inch, like at all. Think of it like you're giving yourself a wash. You know what I mean? This is the loofah. You're just washing yourself. Don't forget your armpits. I know that sounds weird, but just being honest. Don't skip anything. Wow, I can feel all this energy from my head like literally dissipating. So to me, intuitively, it feels like my brain fog, my scattered brain is like dispersing. Like I feel more grounded. But this is crazy. I should have done this honestly a while ago. I've been meaning to do this like last week, but shit happens, right? So I'm literally just going down, and don't be surprised. Like a lot of people, they end up absorbing a lot of residual energy in their legs, and their butt. Like it gets like, especially if you sit all day, you'd be surprised how much energy is absorbed in your tailbone. So just really go slow with this. I'm doing this in real time, so I can't fast forward this, I'm sorry. But make sure you get every inch, thighs, and everything. Feet, the bottom of your feet. When you get to the soles of your feet, you're done with this part. But you don't want to skip anything. And you can do this for your children as well. If they're having nightmares all the time, if you feel fatigued, no matter how much you're sleeping, this is a great thing to do. You know, just if you want to cleanse yourself, but you can't do like a spiritual bath and you want to remove it, you could do an egg cleanse. Now, normally you don't always do a return back to sender with an egg cleanse, but for this go round, I'm doing it. And I'm showing you guys how to do it as well. Because when you're done removing this from you, you can just dispose the egg. But I'm doing something extra with it. And I'll teach you how to properly dispose of this too. I'm almost done, you guys. I'm just now getting to my ankles, so give me a second. Don't forget the heel, the toes, all of that. Guys, I feel literally so much better. So wild. I'm excited for y'all to try this and let me know how it's working for you, because okay, so wow, so I'm pretty much done for the most part. If I need to do this again, I could do it again, but that's how you do it. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna wear gloves. Now normally you don't wear gloves, but the next step is to break this egg. You're gonna crack this egg open into a glass of water. Now, normally I would just crack the egg open and wash my hands, but I'm in my bedroom right now. I don't have my sink ready and available to me, so I'm gonna be wearing gloves so I can just take these off and not contaminate with bacteria and all this with my other stuff. So that's why I'm wearing gloves, but you normally would not, okay? So after the egg has absorbed all of the energy from head to toe, you're going to prepare a glass of water. Now, you're gonna wanna cleanse your glass. I should have done that prior, but hey, we're doing this in real time so y'all can really see what this really consists of. So I'm gonna take my incense, turn the glass upside down, and cleanse it. Okay. You wanna make sure that you're doing this right. You have to cleanse your materials beforehand. And like I said, it's up to you how often you want to do this. Because I'm so sensitive and I'm always tapping into other people's energies, I personally do this weekly or bi-weekly. Like literally at least once or twice a month for certain. Okay. All right, so that's good. Now, you want to use fresh water. There's an argument between distilled water and spring water. Use what you got. I'm literally using some purified water from Walmart because that's what I have on hand. Use what you have. Don't let anyone shame you. So I'm going to pour the water into my glass. And you're going to want to fill this up. So leave a little bit of space. That's how much I filled mine. Mostly full, but leave some space because you're going to be adding stuff into this. So the next step you're going to want to do is to break the egg in this glass, okay? Now be careful. This is the step that messes people up. When you break this egg into the glass, do not look down. Don't look down into the glass. Then you're just going to reabsorb everything you just cleansed out of you. When you break the when you break the egg in the glass, you want to read the egg from the side of the glass like this. You never want to look like this because you're just going to absorb it all over again, okay? That's so important. Okay, next, I'm going to break the egg. Okay. Yeah, that shit sunk straight up. So the next thing you want to do, I'm going to throw this away. You're going to want to let the egg settle so that you can read the yolk. And I'm going to tell you guys the different signs you should look for, but let me throw this away real quick. All right, now there's debate on how long you should really wait for. I like to wait at least 5 minutes, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to proceed forward. At least wait a minute or two is what I say. But when you break into, you want to let it settle, basically, so you can read it properly. So there's different ways on reading the egg. I'm going to kind of look down to see what I'm working with. Oh my Lord. You motherfuckers. Okay. So, what I'm starting to see here is, okay, if your egg yolk sinks straight to the bottom, that shows you how heavy your energy was, okay? Now, if you see bubbles on the top of the water, on the very, very top, that shows you, let me see if I can bring y'all forward. I don't think that's really helpful. Anyway, if you see bubbles on the... Let me see if I can move this closer. I don't want to disturb it so much. Okay, let me bring this up. If you see bubbles on the top like that, those are eyes fucking watching you, like fucking stalkers. Like that's either evil eyes or people watching you or spirits watching over you. Okay, now let me push this down. Okay, now if you can see a lot of figures around your egg yolk, that kind of shows you there's a lot of envy or psychic attack around you. Like if you see a lot of figures in the yolk. Now, if you start to see some needle shapes, that shows you that someone's working against you. I'm going to list all of this down below, you guys. If you see any cloudiness or black or gray in the yolk, that shows you that there is some evil near you or some negative malicious influence harming you or near you, okay? Now, if you see a lot of clouds or swirly figures in the yolk, that's emotional wounds. My egg yolk actually surprisingly looks a lot clearer. From what I can determine of mine, I'm just seeing a lot of eyes on me. A lot of eyes, and it's shocking because I normally see a lot of the needles, like people trying to send their negativity my way, but shockingly, I don't really see that around. It just looks like I'm being drained by all these people trying to connect with my energy, or they're trying to watch me. So that's actually not that bad. I'm very pleased, because normally I'd be having the most. So that being said, when you're done reading your egg, and I'm going to have all the signs and ways you can read the egg in the description box, and if you have questions you can comment down below, but when you're done reading it, normally you will dispose the egg. Now, because I'm doing a return to sender, I'm now going to be adding things to this, to the people that sent this negativity my way, okay? So the next thing you do, I'm going to add my banishing oil because I want to remove these influences. So don't look down into the water. Do it from the side. I'm banishing these energies away from me. Adding that oil. Next, I'm going to want to purify and ground these energies. So I'm using sea salt. Sea salt's great for purification and grounding. So I'm going to ground these energies, purifying them of my energy. Add a good amount, y'all. I do this like it's seasoning. I mean, technically it is kind of, right? I'm purifying my energy and I'm removing their influence. I'm grounding these energies. Yes, it's snow and purification. Okay, next. I'm using a combination of kitchen herbs and herbs that I have to see if y'all have access to them, because I don't, I don't want it to be too difficult for you guys. Next, I'm using basil. Basil is good for money, manifestation, yes, but it's also great for banishing. So I'm going to use basil, and I'm just going to pour this shit right in. I remove you. Okay, next, I'm going to add cumin. You add spice to irritate these fuckers, you know what I'm saying? Away. You add more salt to push this down. Yes. This is kind of the fun part for me, y'all. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the black pepper. Black pepper is honestly one of my favorite to banish with. All right. And I'm going to add some chili powder. Yes. So it's slowly starting to rain down these herbs, which is what you want. And you can kind of twirl this too so that the herbs can go down. You don't want them sitting all at the top. Yes. I'm actually very, very happy with that. Okay, next I'm going to use yarrow. Really great for banishing work. And you don't have to use a lot of herbs, you guys. You can literally use pinches, but I'm trying to send this shit back. Next, I'm going to add rosemary. Remember, don't look down into the glass. Do this all from the side. Okay. Now, I'm just going to add my one last herb. I'm using devil's claw root. This is very powerful for protection and banishing work just in general, and I'm just going to put some of this shit in there. It's an actual root. It's a dried root. Okay. Wow. I am feeling so much better, you guys. Okay. Now, when you're done sending this, then I'd like to kind of say my intention to kind of reinforce it. So, all negativity sent to me, return to sender 3 times 3. May all these energies that no longer belongs to me return back to its original source. I am free from the influence of others, so as it is. Okay? Now, the next step is to dispose of this. And you see it's still going down. It's still doing its work. I love that. So, when you're done, you want to properly dispose this. And there is a way to go about it. So, when you are disposing your egg cleanse, you're going to want to throw it away from you as a means of banishing. So you want to do this away from your home. Don't drop this on your property, okay? So the best, I've seen a few different ways. Some people prefer to flush this down the toilet. That's kind of a modern way to go about it. I prefer to go to a crossroads where two, intersections meet so that it's just a means of banishing. So that's like a 4-way intersection. But make sure that when you are disposing of it, you're chucking it away from you because you want to remove it away from you. So either a crossroads or the toilet is fine. I've seen both. But yes, this is how you perform the egg cleanse with a return back to sender. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'm going to dispose mine off the camera. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Do this as often as you see fit. This is really great if you feel sick, achy, tired, if you feel that evil eye, do this. And remember, you can do an egg cleanse without the return to sender, but this time I wanted to because sometimes enough is enough. So I hope this helps. Blessed be.